7 Capitol police officers are now filing a lawsuit against President Trump. Will this hold up in court, though? Alan Dershowitz, he's the legal legend that we have here every week. He's also the host of the popular podcast, The Dersh Show, and the author of The Case Against New Censorship, Protecting Free Speech from Big Tech, Progressives, and Universities. Professor, I want to get right to this. So they're suing President Trump based on January 6th. The speech I watched was peacefully and patriotically. They've tried to tie it to him. Do these people have a case against the former president of the United States?
Not only don't they have a case, but they'll probably be sanctioned under Rule 11 for filing a lawsuit. It is extremely frivolous. There's no basis possibly for holding a president of the United States who made a speech calling for peaceful and patriotic demonstrations to be tortiously responsible for what happened thereafter. The only possible, arguable case, but it would really not stand up, would not be for what he did, it would be for what he didn't do. That is, once he found out about the entry into the Capitol, the argument will go, it won't work, that he should have at that point done something or said something to call it off. But there's no evidence that had he done so, it would have had any effect. And so causation, you need causation in tort, and they will fail on the issue of causation. It's not a legitimate lawsuit.
Yeah, and so you talk about sanctions. Could they possibly be suffering like monetary penalties for bringing this lawsuit in the first place?
Oh, yeah, there's something called Rule 11, which not only punishes the people who brought it, but sometimes the lawyers for bringing frivolous lawsuits. And I'm fairly confident that the president's legal team will file a Rule 11 sanctions motion and get this dismissed.
Yeah, unfortunate part is he still has to go to court over it. Now, I want to talk about the advancement in mask mandates and things like that. So a Florida judge is not going to allow Governor Ron DeSantis to block mask mandates. My question to you is, does this mean that nobody can have a mask? If they can't block it, can they mandate it? Does it go both ways?
No, it has nothing to do with whether you can have a mask mandate at all. As I said many times on your show very early on, the big issue is who gets to decide. Is it the state legislature or the city council? In a democracy, the governor, the executive, enforces the law. The executive doesn't make the law except in cases of immediate emergency. So this was a case not about whether you can have mask mandates or not. It was a case about who gets to decide. And the judge said the governor didn't have that authority. The legislature had already decided that towns and cities have the right to make decisions about masks. So we're going to see lots and lots of cases now challenging mayors, challenging governors, challenging other executives, saying the emergency's over. You have time now. The legislature can make those decisions, and the legislature should make those decisions.
So that's very interesting you bring that up, is because there is, in Connecticut, the governor has essentially said, yes, in certain areas there is a mask mandate. So it'd be fair to say that the governor in Connecticut doesn't have the authority to mandate masks then, or not mandate them.
Every state is different. If the legislature has explicitly authorized the governor to act, then the governor has a mandate from the legislature. That didn't happen, according to the judge in Florida. So governors can only act and make law when the legislature authorizes them to do so. There's no inherent gubernatorial mayor authority to make the law, except in cases of imminent emergencies that will end soon. But, emergencies can't be allowed to last a year and a half without legislative action. That's what democracy is about. Legislature make the law.
Well, or we might find ourselves being declared emergencies for every time they want to make a new law. I got to ask you real quick, I got about 20 seconds left. Sirhan, do you think he'll see parole?
I hope not. I think that the risk is that he will become a martyr. Remember, he got the death penalty originally, and he, by judicial decision. And I do think when you assassinate a political leader, that is not a strong case for clemency, particularly when he really hasn't shown considerable remorse. My fear is that he gets deported back to the Middle East, and he's the hero. He's sent all around and says now, oh, yeah, I'm proud I did it. So I think the risks of that are too high. There's no risk he will do it again, but there's a risk that he can become a jihad spokesperson And remember, although he's a Christian, not a Muslim Palestinian, he was really the first Palestinian terrorist that led to many, many, many more acts of terrorism thereafter. I don't think it's a strong candidate for any kind of compassion.
Yeah, well, Alan Dershowitz, we appreciate your legal expertise on this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.